Hello Hwa Chong students, I'm Mr. Kelvin Tan. Welcome to this video that will teach you how to tackle the 2017 Hwa Chong time assignment 2 that is on page 22.3.22 of your set of notes. Okay, so before I continue with this video, you may want to turn to this now. Okay, this basically I have the case study with me, I have the book with me. It's about the online media industry. I've assumed that you have already read the case materials and have digested them. So this video is just to teach you how to approach this question, how to write your answers to the question that will combine econs with the case evidence. Before I continue, right, here are some general tips for all kinds of case studies and all kinds of data response questions. First, in your block test 2, as well as your prelims, as well as your A-levels, you have to complete 2 case studies within 2 hours and 15 minutes. This means you have approximately 1 hour and 7 minutes for each case study. Case studies are basically split into 2 types of questions. One is called the data response questions, which usually adds up to 12 marks in total. These will test you on lower order skills. You can recognize them by the command words describe, compare, explain, and comment. These DRQs are marked by points. The marks will roughly give you an idea of how many points you need to write. So this first video will guide you on how to tackle the DRQs for this particular case study on online media. The first question is, describe the trend of US online advertisement spending from 2011 to 2015. It's a 2-mark question, so you will generally need 2 points. So I've reproduced the chart here. Okay, the black bars and the red line. So the red line shows the rate of change. The black bar shows the absolute spending. So the best way to get the 2 marks is simply say that it is generally increasing, okay, but at a decreasing rate given by the red line. So that's how you get 2 marks. Next question. Explain whether online advertising is a fixed or variable cost to the advertiser. So note a few tips. First is that when you see the word whether, right, it usually points towards a 2-sided answer, meaning for this question, it is probably both fixed and variable. Okay, you cannot just say it is fixed or variable. But given that there are 3 marks, but there are only 2 points you can say, right? Fixed and variable, it will be a safe decision to try to explain the difference between the 2 types of cost first, theoretically, for the first mark. So to get the first mark, you can say that fixed cost does not vary with output, and it is incurred even when output is 0. On the other hand, variable cost varies with output. That'll be your first mark. Then for the next 2 marks, right, you try to explain which one is fixed, which one is variable. So from your case evidence, right, you can see that if pricing is based on the CPM model, it is a fixed cost because the ads are basically displayed over a fixed period of time and does not vary with sales output. However, if the pricing is based on the CPA model, it is a variable cost because payments for ads varies directly with the actions, that means clicks, when there's a sale. The basic meaning is that more clicks, if you are under the CPA model, more clicks means that you only pay when the viewer actually purchase from your site. So when you want to send them the good, you incur the cost. So that is why it's a variable cost. Next question. Explain one barrier to entry in the digital media industry. So I believe your tutors would have reinforced this, but take note that a definition alone does not qualify as an explanation. So in order to get 2 marks, right, after you define what is BTE, you could give an example of BTE that's found in the case that applies to the digital media industry. If you read the case extract, right, there are 2 possible examples. High startup costs. So if you read the case, high startup cost means that any firm that comes into digital media need to spend a lot on the technology to track people's movement around the web. Okay, so this means that this high cost may deter the entrance of new firms. If you don't want to use this as another example, control of critical information, because the case evidence state that the lack of these network information could be daunting to any newcomers intending to come to the foray of the market. This allows the incumbent basically to control access of networks, denying potential competitors entry. So as you read this, right, I want you to take note of how I combine the case evidence and with the econs explanation, the words in bold and the words that are not in bold. To do well in explanation question, right, it's not just enough to state the case evidence. You need to also give an economic explanation. I should also stress that this question, right, if I were to change this question to explain one barrier to entry that might exist in the digital media industry, or if I change this question to explain one possible barrier to entry, the word possible and the term might exist, right? When you read these terms, it gives you the freedom to choose your own theoretical point. But this question doesn't have it. Okay, this question doesn't have the word possible, doesn't have the term might exist. So when you read this kind of question, you are supposed to use case evidence. Next question, explain the internal economies of scale route. So again, take note that definition does not qualify as an explanation. And when you want to define internal EOS, right, please be careful to use the proper term. Use the term unit cost or average cost. If you just use the term cost, right, it might be interpreted as total cost, which is incorrect, because larger firms always have a larger total cost, but larger firms can have a lower unit or average cost. So the key in large firms achieving internal EOS is that they can spread the startup cost over the higher quantity produced. I would advise students to avoid using the term fixed cost, right? Notice I use the word startup cost because EOS is a long run concept. So to get all 3 marks, right, the first mark is of course the correct definition of internal EOS. The next 2 marks, right, is to use evidence from the case. Okay, so in the case you have read that Facebook have spent on purchase of data center equipment and build up its plant infrastructure and capability. This is when it allows Facebook to acquire technical EOS, to achieve technical EOS. Why? Because the cost of acquiring all these infrastructure, right, is spread over the increased number of advertisers. Now, this results in a lowering of unit cost of production per advertiser. So again, take note of how I use the case evidence together with the econs explanation. You have to have both to get all the marks. Now, this is the final DRQ question. Explain the other benefit that would also be gained 2 marks. Now, if you recall your flipped learning, right, there was a part 1 assessment that you did. The final question that appeared in the box was about lopsidedness. So you have already explained the cost benefit of being large. So you shouldn't use another EOS example for this, because it's clearly talking about the other benefit other than cost. So if you recall your econs, right, all firms seek to maximize profit. So profit is the definition between total revenue and total cost. So since you already talked about EOS, right, that's about cost advantage, the other benefit should be about revenue advantage. It's about the firm being rich, earning supernormal profits, and hence can do things that increase its revenue. So extract 2, right, there's a case evidence that says that Facebook took in a large slice of the online advertising market revenue, and because it earns such a huge revenue, right, it would have more resources to improve on its product. Okay, it could also buy more platform and attract more advertisers, and hence increasing the demand for its product, allowing it to earn a higher revenue. Again, you compare the words in bold and the words that are not in bold for the last bullet point, right? I want you to learn this, how to incorporate the case evidence with the economic explanation, which are the words in bold. That's how you get all the marks for case study. We have completed the DRQ section. Okay, if you have followed all my tips right, you will get 12 marks if all the answers are complete. So tune in to part 2, where I will guide you to answering the higher order skill questions, which total 18 marks. Thank you.